Hello everyone, welcome to our channel No Inside Out. Let us share and grow together. If you like our videos, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Today we will discuss about Vbscript procedures. In Vbscript, for the code we write needs a code organization and also code reuse. To achieve this, we have procedures. Here, a procedure is a block of code that ideally performs a single function or process. There are two types of procedures in VBScript. One is sub procedure and the other one is function procedure. Here, both perform similar roles but they have their own uniqueness. Let's see what sub is. A sub is also known as subroutine or subprocedure. It is a series of Visual Basic statements enclosed by sub and end sub. How about functions? Function is a group of reusable code which can be called anywhere in your program. You don't have to write the same code over and over again. This helps in reducing the number of lines of programs by using number of small and manageable functions. Let us try to execute a sub-procedure. As we have discussed about message box in the earlier video, let's take an example of message box here. Let us start with sub and sub-procedure name, open and close bracket, and let us write the message box code by printing welcome and giving the number of buttons and ending the sub by end space sub. This extension and try executing it. In this case, we'll not be getting an output. Could you please guess the reason? The reason is we haven't called the sub-procedure. We have to call the sub-procedure by specifying its name. As you can see, we got the expected result. You can also call the sub-procedure by parameterizing it. As you can see, I'm passing the value 5 and calling the subroutine. When you pass the value 5, you'll be getting message box with retry and cancel button. Yes, we got it. Let us try adding more parameters. Let's give title to the message box. The title says hello everyone. And let's call the subroutine with two parameters. One is the number of buttons and the other one is title. For this code, we should be getting a message box with a retry and cancel button with the title in it saying hello everyone. Yes, we got it. You can try giving various inputs and check the functionality. In order to call a sub-procedure from another procedure, you have to give the name of the procedure and include values for any arguments which are required. And the call statement which we used is not always required, but when you use it, you must ensure that you enclose it with the arguments in parentheses. Let us start writing a function. A function procedure starts and ends with function and end function statements respectively. A function procedure may or may not take an input. In continuation with the message box concept, let's incorporate the same here. Let's give welcome to No Inside Out as a string in the message box and pass the number 3 for the number of buttons. So after defining the function, let us save it and check whether it gets executed. Recalling the sub concept, if you define it, save it and execute it, it doesn't work because we'll have to call it. Let's see whether the function also requires the same. As you can see, it does not get executed. Be it a sub procedure or a function procedure, always you have to call it in order to get executed. So let us add a statement of calling the function in order to get executed. Let us call the function by specifying the function name and save it and run the code. As you can see, it gets executed. The major difference between a sub and a function is that a function returns a value of the task performed, whereas in sub it cannot return a value. Let's understand how it returns a value. Let me create another function named egreturn. Here I am returning the value as 3 in this function. So how you return a value? You just assign the value to the function name. So the output of the function will be 3. And now I'm calling another function which we have defined already, that is say function. And then there I'm having a parameter x, where the x will be defined by the input given to that function. So we are passing the input as 3 from egreturn to say function. And let us execute this and see. Let's execute. We have received a message box with 3 buttons as per the configuration. So here in egreturn function, we are returning a value 3, and that 3 is passed on to say function, and it is working as expected. Let us execute the same logic with a sub procedure. Let us try to replace all the function with sub. This clearly shows that a sub does not return a value. So, if you want to execute a series of statements without returning any value, then you can use sub procedures. If you want to execute a series of statements and return a value, then you need to use function procedures. Hope we are clear with sub and function procedures in Vbscript. Thank you everyone, and happy to share.